Hello everyone and welcome to another Hostinger Academy webinar. My name is Gintare. I'm Hostinger Academy's video content creator and today I'll be hosting this event. This time our guest Domantas will be speaking and sharing his knowledge about a very interesting and important topic nowadays, which is WordPress SEO. This webinar is brought to you by Hostinger. Hostinger is one of the leading web hosting providers out there, with more than 15 years of experience and over 29 million users around the world. Hostinger provides top quality web hosting services for all types of businesses and individuals, from bloggers to hardworking enterprises. Stay until the end of the webinar and I'll give you a very special discount code. So before we start the presentation, let's just wait a couple of minutes. And in the meantime, I want you guys to write in the chat section, where are you from? Because I'm really curious. Now, let's get to know our guest, shall we? Hello again, Domantas. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Domantas is known as an SEO guru here at Hostinger. So how long have you been working in search engine optimization?
Yeah, I think it will be close to 10 years already. I started playing with SEO in a high school. And back then, I used to build and rank affiliate websites in video games niche, of course. In most cases, I was not following, Google guidelines and not really following white hat SEO approach. So yeah, I know very well what happens if you get a penalty from Google and lose all your rankings overnight. And so yeah, 10 years, and I must say a lot of things has changed over the years.
Okay, I'm dying to know what kind of things. But why SEO? Why do you prefer working in this particular field?
Many reasons. I would say, like, SEO is always evolving, and it requires you to research, test. It requires you to implement new things on a regular basis. So basically, what worked last year may be outdated next year. So you constantly need to read and learn new things. And I also love digital marketing in general. And maybe this will be controversial, but I think SEO is the broadest field of marketing. So, for example, to be a full stack SEO specialist, you need to be good at on-site optimization, off-site optimization. You need to be good at technical SEO. You also need to understand how to craft a good copy that at the same time is optimized for search engines. So you need to use your creativeness, Ideally, you also need to know at least the basics of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and it's a huge plus if you know how to code. You also need to be able to understand the data and make decisions based on that. So I consider myself as a pretty technical person that loves digital marketing. So SEO allows me to have it all in one position.
Wow, nice, great answer. I know that you will talk about it later in your presentation, but can you describe in one short sentence why do you think SEO is important?
Many different reasons. It's still one of the biggest, till this day, like organic search is still one of the biggest channels for traffic. But yeah, I actually have a slide about this. I don't want to repeat myself,
Okay, don't spoil us just yet then. All right, so let's start the presentation. I will also remind you that you can ask Domantas questions throughout the whole webinar. And after the presentation, we will have a Q&A time. Okay, Domantas, so the stage is all yours.
Okay, yeah, WordPress SEO, essentials for your website. And yeah, it's main profile picture in case you are confused who's doing the presentation. That profile picture, yeah, it's really old. I should update it. So today we'll be talking about SEO and what it is. We'll go through the very basics of like SEO theory. no worries if you already know this. We'll go through them like real quick, I promise. The second part will be more technical. I will show you how to do on-site optimization for your WordPress website. And last but not least, we'll talk about page speed, core web vitals, and other shenanigans. I will explain why these buzzwords are like right now are trending in SEO community, and I will show you how to reach the perfect Google page speed score and good core web vitals on Google page speed insights tool. So what is SEO? And there are many descriptions for that. All of them mean pretty much the same. SEO is the practice of getting traffic to a website from search engines organic ranking. And common SEO tasks are creating high quality content, optimizing content for around specific keywords, building backlinks, applying technical SEO fixes. And basically, in short, SEO is all about improving your rankings and trying to get more traffic from organic search. And just a note, for those who don't know, paid ads are completely independent from organic listings. So, yeah, why SEO is still important in 2021? It's a low cost compared to paid traffic sources. You can treat this as an investment, and at the same time, it delivers great return of investment. It provides actionable data. It's a long-term strategy. It also boosts credibility. Organic results tend to be more trustworthy. Like how many of you intentionally or maybe not intentionally but skip paid ads when searching for something on Google? Unless I am skipping them. Unless I'm searching for I don't know, for a particular brand or a product, I scroll past paid ads like 90% of the time. And yeah, as I already mentioned, organic search is one of the biggest channels when it comes to traffic. And I've added a screenshot from Top Channels report from one of the websites where we do SEO. Okay, and last slide about SEO theory is, but I think it's really important, especially for this webinar. Yeah, SEO can be divided into like three major kingdoms. Technical SEO, which is all about crawlability, indexation, user experience, website speed. Then there is on-page SEO, which is on-page SEO is the practice like of optimizing that page content for search engines and users, and off-page, which is basically backlinks, building backlinks and building mentions to your website. And in this webinar, we will mainly focus on page SEO, but we'll touch just a bit of technical SEO too. Yeah, WordPress and SEO. So yeah, we just started the second part of our webinar. I personally love WordPress. It's easy to use. It has huge community. So if you need help, it's super easy to find it. It has thousands of plugins and themes, and it's pretty SEO friendly out of the box. And for this webinar, I set up a new WordPress installation to show you what needs to be done for your new or maybe existing website if you have not applied these steps already. And yeah, it's actually much easier than you thought. Okay, so if I'm working on a new website or optimizing an existing website, I always start with permalinks and overall website structure. I usually, if it's a new website, yeah, I usually use a sheet of paper or Google Sheets nowadays and write down all possible categories and pages the website might have in the future, and try to plan what categories it might need. And this way I know what permalink structure to choose. For example, if I'm working on a website that I know will have like 3 main categories, I then would most likely include their names, category names in my permalinks to create physical silos. And permalinks on WordPress, it's super easy to set up them. Just go to settings, permalinks, and choose your URL structure. That's it. And in most cases, having post name just after your domain name is the perfect option. Just be sure not to have like random strings and numbers as your in your URL. I would also not recommend having dates unless your content is time sensitive. Okay, so we're done with permalinks. Now it's time to take the big guns out and set up WordPress SEO plugin. And there are quite a few really good plugins for WordPress for SEO. And pretty much all of them do the same thing, have like nearly identical functionality. My go-to plugin is Yoast SEO, but all-in-one SEO, rank nav are really, really good as well. And while I was preparing for this this webinar, I started to wonder, what do you guys normally use for your website to optimize them for SEO? So yeah, please leave a comment and let me know what plugin do you use on your WordPress site. And yeah, the reason why SEO is my favorite tool is simply because I've been using it for a long time already. It's also the most popular plugin for SEO with more than 5 million downloads. It means there's a huge community behind it, and you can often find help if you need like out of the box solution, like we sometimes do. And yeah, we actually run Yoast SEO on Hostinger blog and Hostinger tutorials, like really modified version of SEO Yoast, but it's still SEO Yoast. Now, like, it's really important part. Over the years, I've consulted or talked about SEO with quite a few people who thought that just by installing a WordPress SEO plugin, they will rank in Google and start getting traffic almost instantly. And this couldn't be more wrong, I would say. SEO plugins are cool and all, and they help a lot. They will save you a lot of time, but no SEO plugin will make you rank on Google automatically. No, there's no shortcut here. And yeah, and but in order to rank, you need to do keyword research. And keyword research should be the basis of, I think, should be the basis of any new project or online marketing campaign. And the goal of keyword research is to find out what your target audience is searching for and evaluate what it will take for you with your website to rank for those keywords. So, yeah, so how to pick good keywords that will bring you traffic. I think we could do a whole webinar about keyword research, and there are many different ways how to do it, but eventually it all boils down to a few universal steps. So start by determining your website topic and the mission. Think in what niche your website is and what exactly you want to reach with your who exactly you want to reach with your content. Then brainstorm and make a list of seed keywords in that niche, in your niche. Use free or paid keyword research tools to find more related keywords and check metrics like search volume, difficulty, seasonality. Remove keywords, of course, remove keywords with no search volume from the list. And yeah, after the step, you should have a list of keywords with like reasonable search volume that are related to your niche. And now another important step is to check their intent. And for that, simply Google each keyword and see, do they have an informational intent? It's when users want to see information on a specific topic. Maybe it's navigational intent when users Google that keyword just because they they want to access a specific website. Maybe it's commercial intent when users want to research something before buying, or it is a transactional intent. It's when users looking to buy something like right now. And yeah, and check if you what kind of pages you see on the first page of Google. Do you see mostly product pages, or do you see a lot of informational blog posts? Do you see videos, or is it a mix? These are all hints to what Google assumes the search intent of the query is, and use this information to choose correct format for each keyword, content format for each keyword. So yeah, so we already have a list of keywords. We figured out their intent. We know search volumes. Now it's time to check the competition, and that is basically your competition is basically websites you'll be competing against, trying to outrank them. And for this, just take a closer look and see what you can see. Do you see a lot of professional websites, big media websites, the company websites? Does your website fit among these sites? If you see, well, basically, if you see a lot of established websites on the first page, I would recommend starting with the different keywords, especially if you're working on a new website. And those new keywords will most likely have lower search volume, but they should be easier to rank. Yeah. So, for example, you can start with long tail keywords that have lower volume but lower keyword difficulty as well. Also, take a look at ads on Google. Do you see any? And if you have a Google Ads account, you can even check like pay-per-click. And the search terms that have really high pay-per-click are usually also harder to rank in the search organic search results. So yeah, that's the basics of keyword research. Now it's time to start creating SEO optimized content. And yeah, SEO Yoast and other SEO plugins are great because they give you recommendations what exactly you need to do to optimize the content for your content for specific keywords. And it's super easy. You start by entering your key phrase. You get Yoast then will analyze your content and provide a list of suggestions, for optimizations. You apply these suggestions, and you can argue about some of them, and I personally never ever follow them all blindly. But if you are just starting with SEO, I would say these suggestions are really good. And yeah, it's as easy as applying these suggestions and getting that green smile on SEO Yoast. Now, all you have to do is publish that content piece. And yeah, just for just for your information, we are like intentionally skipping a few really important things about the content itself, like the fact that your content must be unique, it must answer the search query, it must be interesting to read, just to name a few. Okay, so you now have your first few SEO optimized blog posts published. Now it's time to set up Google Search Console, and I'll explain why it's important on the next slide. But now, I just want to show you that setting up Google Search Console is like super easy. Just start by going to Google Search Console homepage, add your website address. You'll get a code snippet. Add it to SEO Yoast, the master tools section, press verify button, and that's done. I, of course, would strongly recommend adding Google Analytics to your website as well, and we did a webinar about it a few months ago. where we explain how to do it. So check that out. Okay, so why Google Search Console is important? Well, it's because you can find a lot of useful information there, like average position, search queries, click-through rate. It's a lot of information which you can use to improve your existing rankings or get some ideas for new content. It will also help you to index your pages in Google faster because you can submit a sitemap and you can actually request indexing manually. You'll also be able to see technical site health metrics like errors, number of indexed pages, whether or not your website is mobile friendly. You can also see Core Web Vitals report, which shows if your website meets Google requirements. Now, Core Web Vitals. Let's talk about Core Web Vitals a bit more. I've decided to include this because, well, as I mentioned, it's trending in SEO community, and the reason is because Google decided to make Core Web Vitals one of the ranking signals. And just to know that Core Web Vitals are not the same as page load speed. Core Web Vitals are a way to measure the overall experience of the page, and there are 3 Core Web Vitals. So the first one is largest contentful paint. It measures the time when the page starts loading to when the largest text box or image element is rendered on the screen. Then there is first input delay. It measures the time it takes for a user to actually interact with the page. For example, choosing an option from a menu. And cumulative layout shift. It measures how stable your page is as it loads, and you can call it visual stability as well, like simpler. So basically, if elements on your page move around as the page loads, then you've got a high CLS, which is not that good. And yeah, now there is a common misconception about Core Web Vitals. It does not play the huge role in the algorithm. It's for sure important and can move your rankings up, but if your overall SEO strategy is not good, if your content is not optimized, having the perfect Core Web Vitals and 100 on page speed insights most likely won't help you at all. And even Google itself has been downplaying the importance of Core Web Vitals as a ranking factor. And there is a great article on searchenginejournal.com about this. If you want to learn more. But let's say we have your on-site SEO figured out, your website structure is on point, and your content is optimized. But your Core Web Vitals and Google Page Speed score are low. How to improve it? It's actually not that hard. There could be, the first thing you would need to understand why your page Core Web Vital score is low. So for that you can of course simply use Google Page Speed Insights tool. But there could be many reasons why it's low. But there are some I would say universal truths you need to follow to get better Core Web Vitals. So the first rule is do not clutter your WordPress with unnecessary plugins. Try choosing fast theme from the get-go. Always optimize your images and lazy load them. It really helps. Defer loading scripts and styles. If possible, even delay loading some of them. And use passive hosting and a caching plugin. And I think it's the most important step for sure. And I know I work at Hostinger, and I know that you probably think I'm trying to sell a hosting plan for you right now, but no. you won't get a good score for WordPress. For maybe a simple HTML website, you may be able to get that, but for WordPress, no, you won't get on a slow hosting. So yeah, you won't get it no matter what you do. And it all may sound complicated, but it's really not that hard. So for this webinar, I set up a quick test. I installed WordPress on Hostinger's WordPress starter hosting plan. I added like 10 popular plugins, created a new post with a dummy text, added 5 images of funny cats, one YouTube video, and added the link. I added a link to the test post in case you want to check it out. And yeah, now as we run Lightspeed, which speeds up WordPress a lot on all Hostinger servers, and the Lightspeed cache plugin comes pre-installed with WordPress on our hosting. My WordPress was fast out of the box, So I disabled that plugin. I disabled that plugin, and this was the result: 64 page speed score. Core web vitals are not that bad, but I know we can do much better. So I enabled the plugin and tweaked its settings a bit. I have enabled HTML, CSS, JavaScript minification, enabled option to combine and inline external JavaScript. Also enabled HTTP to push, which allows to send resources even before browser requests them. I also enabled lazy loading for images and iframes, basically for that YouTube video I've added to that post. And voila, perfect page speed score for the same test post, and much better core web vitals. And yeah, just a small tip: you can use Google Search Console to check core web vitals for your entire website instead of checking all pages like one by one with page speed insights. And that was my last slide. I hope you learned at least one new thing today.
Nice, good job. Thank you, Domantas. Great presentation. I really liked it. Of course, I didn't understand all of the things, but I guess I'll ask you later. And right now, before we dive into our Q&A session, as promised, I'm sharing the discount code, which is WPSEO10. I will also add a banner here, and you will get 10% off your hosting. This code, you can use this code for 24 hours starting right now, and it works on shared VPS, WordPress, and cloud hostings. So right now we can dive into our comment section, and I ask you guys, where are you from? And I can see you're from France, from USA, from India. It's so nice to see that you're watching from all over the world. It means a lot. Nice. So let me find my first question. All right. So Shocker asks, how to get backlinks?
Yeah, I knew that I will get this question for sure.
Is it bad?
No, it's not bad, but it's just like everybody wants to know how to get backlinks. I don't know. We do not really do link building at Hostinger because it can be considered as not a wide hat tactic. Few things we do is press releases. That helps a lot, and we get backlinks naturally. But if you are just starting your website, what I would do and what I do with my some of my personal projects, I Google my keywords, the keywords I want to rank, and I set Google search results to show me 100 result, and then I try to find pages where I can place my my link to my website. It can be a forum post, it can be like e-comment. If it's a blog, try contacting the blog owner and offering him a guest post that you'll have to write. and of course link back to your website from that blog post. You can also it depends on the website a lot. If it's like local website, you're trying to rank, let's say, some kind of hairdresser website for a locally, you can of course use directories and classified ads websites for that. But yeah, guest posting as well. It's really powerful. It just takes a lot of time and time and money.
And effort, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Aziz asks, what do you think about Uber Suggest?
Yeah, we use Ajax instead of Uber Suggest. So I tried that tool when it was free. I think they turned off the free version, or maybe it's like really limited right now. I'm not sure, but as far as I remember, the keyword database, they had a really big database, and I was surprised that how big it is. It's still not as big as Ajax, but yeah, but it's a good tool. It's a good tool. You can do SEO with that tool for sure.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Astare asks, how to check if your WordPress site is optimized? I guess you answered this in different ways, but maybe you can provide a shorter answer for this.
Yeah, so there's no few ways basically. So first of all, you need a rank tracker and set up a rank tracker. We, for example, use AccuRanker, but there are some free alternatives. Just search for free rank tracker on Google. Set it up and add your keywords, and it will show you positions for those keywords, your positions where you are ranking. And you'll know if you are not on the first page, it means that your website is not really optimized, or maybe it's lacking some backlinks.
All right. Next question. Also from Aziz. Sir, Yoast is free. I mean, he asks, Yoast SEO is free to use?
Yeah, it is. They do have like premium version as well. We're using premium version of Hostinger, but free version is more than enough, I would say.
Okay. Domantas, you asked what kind of plugins people use mostly. So I can see that they are typing Rank Math, Yoast, AIOS SEO.
All-in-one SEO.
Yeah. Then, yeah, I guess mostly it's Rank Math.
Okay, that's surprising for me. I'm a bit old school guy, you know. I know that Rank Math is it's not as old as Yoast is.
Okay. Next question. Shocker asks, but no light speed on your ads?
I do not really understand this question. Yeah, maybe it's about why Hostinger, why we do not advertise that we have light speed.
Okay, so Shocker, if you can rephrase the question, you still have time. We will answer definitely. Okay, so we have a question about best SEO plugin, but I guess you answered that already.
Yeah. Yoast SEO for me, Rank Math for the others. So it depends on your preference, I guess.
Yeah, great. So Joy asks, can you share your slides? So I just want to add that we will share our slides after the presentation. Mehmed, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing, is backlinks really mandatory to rank?
It depends. If you have a new website and you're going after competitive keywords, then yes, it's backlinks are mandatory to rank. If you have, let's say, like well-established website that is already ranking for a lot of terms, and that website got a lot of backlinks, like organically, and you are publishing a new content piece on some kind of on some keyword, then it also depends on keyword difficulty, but it may not be mandatory in this case. But it also won't be mandatory if you are targeting like really, really really low keyword really low difficulty keywords.
All right. Akong is asking, hi, just to get this clear, is it okay to design any kind of website using WordPress, being banking, industries, etc.?
Um, I wouldn't build banking website on the WordPress. I think you need a custom solution for that. Yeah, um, but other than that, yeah, you can build any kind of website on WordPress, and there are so many plugins. For example, if you want to build a membership website, there is a plugin for that. If you want to build a forum, if you want your website to have a forum, there's a plugin for that. Um, Basically, any kind of website can be built on WordPress.
Oh, he also, Akong wrote later that he's asking this in terms of security.
Oh, yeah. Well, we should do a webinar about uh, about cybersecurity, I guess. But WordPress itself is it's secure. You just need to keep it up to date for sure. And yeah, and there are quite a few really good like security plugins for WordPress. One of them is WordFence. So if you are concerned about security, I would recommend installing that plugin.
Okay, thank you. Joy, no, sorry, I guess I missed one. Yes. Jeff Ferguson is asking, ideally, how many words should I have on my blog to optimize its ranking?
It depends. It depends on the keywords you are targeting. So the best way to know this is to just Google the keyword you want to target. Take, let's say, 5 top ranking pages and get the average word count. That would be like sort of scientific. It's a scientific way, to determine how many words you need for a post.
All right, Mahmoud has another question, but I guess we know the answer to this, which is best between Yoast and Rank Map. And I would guess Yoast, yes?
For me, yeah. For others, it can be Rank Map. Both do pretty much the same.
Joy asks, if I have too many categories on the post, is it bad for SEO?
Not sure how you can have too many categories on the post. If you have like a lot of like category pages that have the same posts, then it would be. It's not that it will be bad, but it won't help you, and it just increases your index of pages in Google. So I would say, I don't know, I would say it's not bad, but it won't help you either. So yeah, not really sure if I understand the question, to be honest.
Okay, if you can specify, Joy, you can still write down with more details. Elizabeth is asking, please guide me how much work should I write for my blog? I want to monetize it with affiliate marketing and Google Ads.
Yeah, so the answer would be similar to what we just talked about. Take top 5 pages that rank for that keyword and get averages, and that's it. And there are, like, for example, we at Hostinger, we use surferseo.com, and And that tool does exactly this. It takes, let's say, top 5 ranking pages for a specific keyword, and you get averages, and you also get like the exact keywords you need to use in your content to rank for that query. So yeah.
Great.
So
We have
yeah,
another. Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. Please.
I just want to elaborate that it all depends on the keyword. For one keyword, it can be like 10,000 words article. Because that's how many words you need. To answer the search query. For a different query, it can be like I don't know, 500 words, 100 words. So it all depends on the query.
Okay. Yoga Crisanta asks less competitive keywords versus competitive keywords, which will rank faster and last long in SERPs?
Well, less competitive keywords will rank faster for sure, which will last longer in SERPs. I don't. I would say less competitive keywords as well, because, well, if it's less competitive, it means that competitors are not doing anything. And for really competitive keywords, for those keywords, like, we usually update the content. I don't know, every week, every few days to make sure it's fresh, to make sure that we answer search queries. So yeah, I would say less competitive keywords.
Okay, Joy wrote more about his question. He says sometimes post the same post in several categories.
Okay, yeah, then it's most likely you should check it whether or not you allow your categories to be indexed. If there is a setting in SEO, check that. If you allow them to be indexed, then I would delete like duplicate categories, because, well, it can increase your index size, and that can turn into a problem eventually.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Mahmoud is asking what is the difference between on-site and off-site SEO?
Yeah, so on-site is when you are doing SEO on your website, like optimizing content for a specific keyword, and off-site is when you are doing your work, like, not on your website. It's basically backlinks and mentions. So when yeah, it's basically backlinks and building backlinks. That's on off-site SEO.
All right. Sherville is asking, will this be available for review later? Yes, this will be uploaded in Hostinger Academy channel, and the slides will be linked in the description. Jefferson asks another question. How often should I post my blog to rank higher in rankings?
Oh man, I don't know. It depends. It depends on your niche. If your content is not evergreen, then I guess you need to post more often. But there is no like optimal time frame, I would say. I personally like to publish all the content once I have like finished content. I like to publish it as soon as possible. Yeah. So I didn't notice like any I don't know, anything bad about this. So yeah, I don't know, to be honest. How often you should post. Depends on your niche.
Okay, Shocker asks, why you no show Lightspeed on your ads on YouTube?
Yeah, that's I don't know. Thank you for your feedback. Yeah, thank you for your feedback about this. I think we'll start doing that starting from the next quarter, which is starts next week.
Marketer asks, which kind of keyword should I use more, short tail or long tail? Then I use more link on my post. It is bad, I mean, any problem. Okay, I guess the first part you understand, yes?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. In general, I think every website like eventually will end up targeting more like short tail, as you say, keywords, because well, there's like really limited number of long tail keywords, and usually they are like lower. They have lower keyword volume. But if the question is about backlinking, then again, the answer would be it depends. It depends what you want to rank faster. You know, it's a long tail keyword, and I would point those backlinks to to posts that target long tail keywords.
All right. Mamad is asking again, which is best to rank fast, offsite or on-site?
Both. You need to like in most cases you need to have them both to rank, unless you have like a big well established website. But always start with on-site SEO. Do not even start like I wouldn't start doing off-site SEO activities if my on-site SEO is not on point, because you will be. I assume you want to spend some money, buy some backlinks, maybe guest posts. So you will be just if your on-site SEO is not on point, you will be just wasting your money.
Okay. Which best WordPress cloud share? I mean, I guess this question is which plan is best, so I can answer this. So WordPress has a WordPress friendly onboarding process and like specific WordPress plugins like Jetpack. So it's perfect if you have a WordPress website. It's just like as easy as that. Yes, we have another one. Is AMP going to determine my Google rankings now and in future?
That's a really good question. No, I don't think so. I think Google will eventually turn off AMP. They now understand what they created, by introducing AMP pages. And for those who don't know, AMP pages are mobile optimized pages, and it's basically when Google hosts your content of your website on their servers, and it makes website load really fast, but it changes the URL, and of course you lose control of like control to some extent of your content, and also in order to be to have like AMP optimized pages, like they have like really strict rules for that. For example, you cannot use like a lot of CSS rules. Like CSS rules are different, from what you would normally see on a normal website. But I think I think because even especially after this new Core Web Vitals, after introducing Core Web Vitals, I think they will rethink about whether or not like MP is even necessary, because internet is getting faster and faster like every year, and most websites right now they're like most of the webmasters are already working on optimizing their pages to make them load fast. So I'm not sure why MP would be necessary in the long-term future, a few years at least. So I think they will eventually like stop like pushing AMP.
All right. Next question we have from Annie. I write posts in Spanish and English-speaking blog, and the SEO score often goes down because I don't have enough linking words in one of the languages. Does SEO only check English?
Yeah, I think SEO Yoast, not sure to be honest, but I think like that readability score and keyword density scores, you would need like SEO Yoast premium plugin to check them in other languages. So yeah, but I wouldn't worry about this too much. as I said, I do not follow like those recommendations blindly. As well, just make sure you use your content, and you use your keyword title in the first few sentences of your blog post, maybe in the H2 heading, title, maybe even in meta description, and you should be good to go. And there are like a lot of like keyword density checkers for all kinds of different languages online. Just Google keyword density checker if you still want to optimize your content based on keyword density.
Okay, cool. We have another question from Mamad. Can I use 2 different ad networks on same site? If yes, will it affect SEO or rankings?
Yeah, so indirectly it can affect your rankings, because one of the ranking signals is like if you have too many ads on your website, that's a big no-no for Google. Like too many pop-ups, too many annoying ads, that's a no-no for Google. So I guess if you want to use like 2 different ad networks, you want to clutter your website with ads. So I would say that could affect your rankings eventually.
Okay, so I want to just drop in one cool comment. Dr. says keep rocking, and we have more nice comments. I just can't share them all because of the time. And let's move on to the next question. Ayat says, which hosting plan is suitable for teaching online websites? So actually, Ayat, please write to support at hostinger.com, because we need more information on this. Like, we don't know your traffic, what's in that website and all. So please do write to support at hostinger.com. Next one is from Pravin. Is it possible to bootstrap's website? It's good or not in SEO?
Yeah, Pravin, can you elaborate your question? I do not really get it.
Yes, please. If you can, please add some details. And I guess we're out of questions for now, but you can always ask them after the webinar, because we will have a comment section there. Yeah, I guess that's all of the questions. Any points you want to add, Domantas?
No, not really. Well, I don't know. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out, to me on LinkedIn. Find me on LinkedIn, add me there, or just email me at domatas@hostinger.com. I'll gladly answer your questions about this.
Nice. So I'm also reminding you to use the code in 24 hours from this webinar. The code is on the screen. So thank you, Domantas, for a great presentation. And also thank you guys so much for joining our webinar. We're very glad to have you here. It means the world to us. And don't forget to subscribe to Hostinger Academy channel. So see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.